Governor, if you could, are you troubled at all by the appearance of your BISHCA commissioner firing a group of lawyers in that department who had previously acted as fairly aggressive regulators going after his former lobbying clients?
Well, I don't believe that to be true. What I know is true is I have surrounded myself with the best people that I could hire to carry out an extraordinarily ambitious and bold agenda to put Vermonters back to work. Part of that agenda is to have the first system in the country where we have a single-payer healthcare system that contains cost and where healthcare is a right, not a privilege. And I'm privileged to have Steve Kimball as at BISHCA. What I can tell you about your firing question is, by that token, I guess you would suggest that we fired all kinds of secretaries and commissioners, because the first thing I asked the folks in government to do when I was elected was to hand in their resignations, which is what every governor in Vermont has done as long as we've had governors elected, as I understand it.
In many, if not most other departments and agencies around state government, the senior lawyers have been kept on. In BISHCA's case, several of these lawyers have been let go, and they happen to be the lawyers who were previously going after, say, Blue Cross Blue Shield, when Blue Cross Blue Shield was Kimball's client. And so the appearance of now Kimball coming in as commissioner and letting go of these lawyers who had been aggressively pursuing in their role as regulators his former client, you're not troubled by that at all?
Not in the least, because there's absolutely no truth to what you're saying. The commissioner has said, and he's correct, that we have an extraordinarily ambitious job to undertake in being the state that gets healthcare reform right. We need lawyers who can help us do that, and we need to bring in a new team of lawyers, just as we needed to bring in a new team of secretaries and commissioners. So that's why he did it. That's why I'm standing by him. And the suggestion that there was some other motive is, frankly, fantasy.
This is a change in a direction of your administration, though, having lawyers dealing with policy as opposed to interpreting the law, following the law. Because what you've sent the message, and the commissioner's also sent the message, is that he wants people on his team who are dealing with policy, not necessarily dealing with regulations.
Well, you know, we have to do both. But clearly, it was his judgment that he needed to assemble a team of lawyers that could do policy and regulation at the same time. Now, it's difficult to discuss this without suggesting that the existing lawyers that were there weren't competent in doing their jobs. Of course they were, but we felt that we needed folks who really had expertise in both regulation and healthcare policy, and that's what we put together. We used our best judgment, as we do in all the appointments that we've made.
In relation to your special assistant on your radar, is she allowed to have clients outside of Vermont in her role business?
I believe so. I mean, we have hired her as a consultant to us, as many people consult state government, but I don't think she is to work for us exclusively. I want to make clear that she has severed relationships that would be a conflict to this job. For example, she no longer works for KSE. She no longer works with anyone related to Vermont's healthcare system.